Hello again, Power Ranger family, friends, and fans. It is another Fiend Friday, so it's time for the next episode of Baboo's Monster Review with your host, Steve Andrino, aka the suit actor for Baboo for seasons 2 and 3 of Mighty Morphin. We are up to episode 36, so what should have been the beginning of the last week of the original run. Again, it was supposed to be 40 episodes long, so should have been just ready to finish up. Actors should have been ready to take a break. Writers should have been done for a little bit now. Maybe getting an early jump on season 2. But instead, as we all know, there ended up being 60 episodes for season 1 because the show was just so popular so quickly. Fox Network asked for 10 more episodes and then 10 more after that, like immediately after. Within a week of saying we needed 10 more, they changed it to 20. So, again, this episode was already written and done. This episode is called Birds of a Feather. Interesting in the fact that we don't actually see the monster made by Finster at all. You know, usually there's some talk about what monster they're going to make, or we see him pull the lever on the Monster-Matic, or we at least see it in the moon base, or see even just the smoke trail special effects sending it down to Earth. We don't see any of that in this one. Not sure why. Also, since Tommy Oliver lost his powers last episode, the end of Green Candle, we do not have a Tommy sighting in this episode at all. As a matter of fact, although I don't play them because I don't want to risk playing the theme song and getting it copyright stricken. Jason David Frank, or just Jason Frank, was not even listed in the credits this time. So again, the plan was originally, he's done, he's gone, we're writing him off the show. We used all the footage we had of Green Ranger, and well, that was fun. You know, why they didn't decide to immediately keep him around as just another kid in the school to kind of be their, you know, their civilian help, eyes on the ground, whatever, I'm not really sure. But they actually, you know, took him out of this episode, or didn't put him in this episode, I should say. So we'll see how long it takes to bring him back, because we all know he's coming back. I mean, again, they had to because he got so much fan mail, he was so popular so quickly that didn't really have a choice but to bring him back. So let's take a look here and see what we've got with Birds of a Feather.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And of course, Birds of a Feather, the ending of the phrase is flock together. I'm not sure who the birds are in this one either, other than the Hatchasaurus monster.
I'll do it with you.
So again, now we've already seen Jason teaching class, we've seen Zach teaching hip-hop keto out in the park before, we've seen Tommy teaching a couple of kids, now we're back to Zach teaching kids again.
I don't remember you being an expert in this, Bill Volk. It involves self-control.
And now Bulk and Skull with a martial arts student. That's kind of interesting, not quite sure what brought them about. But for a change, instead of it being Bulk not really knowing what he's doing, this kid seems to have some kind of ability. Now, I tried to look up, let me do this real quick. Tried to look up in several places, IMDb, Ranger Wiki, any information if we know who the kid actors were. I didn't know if this was maybe like a Michael Lasky early on and they brought him back for, you know, Alien Rangers arc. Looked like to be a little too old because this would have been a couple of years before that, but I'm not able to find any information on the other actors of the kids. So if anybody knows, has any idea who they are, by all means let me know, but no info on that one. Again, did that a lot. Rangers would bring in people to do bit parts in the shows and just never list them in the credits. Granted, I was never actually listed in the credits either, but that's because the practice at the time was to list the voice actor and not necessarily the suit actor. And especially for the character like Baboo, who for all of season 1 any American footage, it changed. It was different people in there. It was whoever the stunt person was on set, or if they pulled somebody, out of the extra pool and said, hey, tell you what, we're going to give you a bump in pay today and we're going to stick you in this costume kind of thing. Not sure if they ever did that at all. I know they did that once when I got into the suit, because it was a day that I was late getting to the studio, and back before cell phones I couldn't call them, so I ended up showing up a little late. They already put somebody else in costume. It was somebody they had brought in to be a putty, but a non-fighting putty. So I said, well, hey, I'm already here, so I'll just fill in as the other putty then. They're like, yeah, okay, we can do that. So I actually did get to be a putty for one day, although, like I said, non-fighting. It was just some generic still shots of us in deactivated mode in the Moon Palace after Zed took over. And to be honest, I really don't recall them even filming the other actor. I don't know if they did. I didn't see it. If they, obviously it could have been something I was not on set for at that particular moment. But, when I watch the show, I don't see anything that I go, I don't remember doing that, or that doesn't look like me, or whatever. So, and it had to be pretty early on. So, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, back to it. See right off the bat, now that Pfister has sent my Hatchasaurus to Earth, we saw nothing about it being created. I'm gonna take a guess here that for whatever reason, Saban never got this actual costume. It was never sent over. So, Sentai footage didn't show it. We had no way of doing it. There was no American footage shot of him. Okay, so now we're back to class in the juice bar.
I want to talk to you about something. Look, man, don't let Biff psych you out just because he's bigger than you.
But what if he cheats?
He'll be disqualified.
I couldn't have done.
Okay, so right off the bat, he goes to what if he cheats? Not what if he's better than I am. Not if he's bigger. Not if he's been training longer. What if he cheats? Wow. If that's the first thing he came up with, that's because either it's happened to you before, which at this age, and this sounds like it's going to be one of, if not your first competition. I doubt it. Therefore, that tends to be something that your mind goes that way because it's something you might even consider. I don't know. That was just
you just wouldn't have been able to do all the cool dance stuff.
That was just really weird.
Hey, just remember, I'll be in your corner if you need me.
And again, I know it's on the writers, not the character, but wow.
Welcome to the Angel Grove Junior Martial Arts Competition. First round competitors, get ready.
And again, still in the juice bar. Everything's done in the juice bar.
I'm really not sure about those new moves.
Hey, have confidence in your skills. I know you'll make me proud.
I'm not sure about them. We just practiced them yesterday, and, well, at least, I don't know if it was supposed to be yesterday. We just recently practiced them. We should have been practicing them more at home, I don't know, to be ready. Not like, oh, I'm still not sure.
Rita sent a monster to Earth. Teleport to the command center right away.
Right. Bum, bum, bum.
Hi, Jason.
Guys, trouble. Gotta go. Oh, man, why now? Sorry, bro.
Yeah, you could have left Zach behind for a few minutes, but I'm just saying.
Cameron, I gotta go.
What?
It's an emergency.
You can't leave. It'll ruin everything. I can't do it without you, Zach.
Well, he's not going to be out there showing you the steps anymore. He's going to be sitting in the audience cheering you on.
Believe in yourself. You can do it.
He sure doesn't look like he could do it.
What's going on? What's happening?
Rita has buried a bird-like monster named the Hatchasaurus in the ground near the power plant.
A bird-like monster named the Hatchasaurus. Again, you can't even really see it that well. See claws. It's so shaky. Okay, so this is interesting. So we also have, it's a dual monster. It's a bird-like creature called Hatchasaurus. I guess bird because it's got wings and they wanted it to lay eggs, which of course, most animals other than mammals do anyway. But beside the point. And then they have, it's controlled by a computer on the inside. Okay, not quite sure how they're going to do this. I am because I've watched the episode, but let's take a look.
Mission is to get inside the Hatchasaurus and disconnect Cardiatron.
Disconnect Cardiatron. Of course, cardio being the prefix related to heart, and Tron making it sound like computerized technology. Cardiatron. So instead of being a computer in his head, the computer is his heart. Also kind of weird. I would think you'd want it inside the skull for better protection. I mean, I guess ribcage is good protection. But here we have Hatchasaurus.
Think we could use some help.
Totally.
And that's right, since Tommy Oliver, Green Ranger, no longer has his powers, to prevent them from going to Rita, after the green candle burned out, he gave the power coin to Jason, and that somehow gave him control of the Dragon Zord and the Dragon Flute and the Dragon Armor and all his extra powers. Okay. Again, Hatchasaurus, pretty strong here. Again, you got the wings on the back there, although he's got a tail too. I mean, a tail like that. Birds have tails, I understand, but they're usually feathers. That's not a feather tail. Matter of fact, his wings aren't feathered either. He's more like a dragon type. So, but we already have Dragon Zord, so we can't use that again. Look at that, we finally see Sabretooth firing something, Pterodactyl shooting lightning. Not just freeze breath and lightning and chains out of the Triceratops, the freeze breath of course coming out of Mastodon. Another new power for Tyrannosaurus, some kind of super strong breath. And it blew up Hatchasaurus. Kind of early on into the show to defeating the Monster of the Week, no?
Did you see that? The Hatchasaurus is a goner. The Power Rangers blew him into a zillion pieces. He isn't finished yet, right, Mike?
I was going to say, Squad, not necessarily the wisest thing to say to Empress Rita. However, she didn't seem to get too upset, so she obviously knows something we don't.
The Earth is still endangered by Rita's monster.
Still endangered.
So what's wrong?
Here they are wearing different clothes than they were before at the Junior Martial Arts competition. Oops.
This is impossible.
Okay, so Hatchasaurus is reforming? Kind of hard to tell from that. I mean, you know, for an 8-year-old, I'm not necessarily sure they would get exactly what was going on there.
We're gonna get rid of those brats today. Thanks to my Hatchasaurus.
Yes, my queen.
But won't the Dragon Zord interfere?
No, the Dragon Sword is easy for me to stop. Dragon Sword, gone is your energy. My spell will
Okay.
make you weak.
So Rita casting another spell. Again, it wasn't a common occurrence, but...
My spell will make you weak as you hear me speak.
Okay. Excuse me, let me stop right there for a second. Alright, so the spell is to make him weak. I would think drain his energy, make him feel super heavy so he can't move fast, but okay. But it shows the special effect of that pink purplish beam going down to Earth and wrapping around him, like tying his hands at his side. I don't know how that makes him weak, but I mean, okay, so it limits his movement of his hands. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Okay, and that obviously is supposed to be the heart, but with the lights flashing is also the computer, so welcome to Cardiatron.
If we don't stop this thing, it's gonna destroy the Earth.
Okay, again, not quite sure how, not sure what the plan was to destroy the Earth.
There is only one way to defeat the Hatchasaurus.
We must disconnect the Cardiatron.
Guys, it's Morphin
Okay,
time.
so it looks like it's already been disconnected from the rest of Hatchasaurus when you blew it up. So I'm not quite sure what more you need to disconnect. I'm kind of confused. Nice action shot here of Hatchasaurus taking down a cardboard building. And then they have a little explosion in there to make it look even better.
You wanna fight? You got it!
He's winning.
No doubt about it. He's a real stinker.
He's a real stinker? Really?
My queen.
Really, Baboo? That's all I could come up with? He's vicious, he's tough, he's, you know, gonna be victorious, he's hard to vanquish. Yeah, I mean, stinker? He's a real stinker. Anyway.
Yes, he's destroying those Power Rangers just like
My Empress, you're celebrating maybe a little bit too early. And again, he was doing okay against Dragonzord.
He's tough, but we're tough. Now it's our turn.
Are you really, though? I mean, we know Dragonzord beat you, and he was doing pretty well against Dragonzord. Let's see how tough you are. Apparently you're not tough, though.
Brace yourselves, guys. He's heading straight for us.
My God, he's heading right for us. Sorry, South Park reference. Again, Hatchasaurus. Okay, so his wings are kind of mossy, grassy on the back. Again, Hatchasaurus has got him down. You know, Dragonzord is walking real slow, can't move his arms. Okay, so he looks weak. I don't know why he couldn't still fire. Well, I guess the missiles fire out of his hands.
Dragonzord should be here by now.
He's still got a breath weapon, too.
Something's interfering with his mega receptors.
How on earth would you know that? And this is the first and last time we will ever hear about mega receptors. Well, first for sure, last I pretty much guarantee. Alright, so Power Sword comes down, happens to hit Hatchasaurus on the way down. How convenient. Still not helping you much, though. I mean, Hatchasaurus is actually able to pick you up and fling you around. This has been happening a lot lately, Megazord. I'm just saying. And you were already getting beat, and now your power's down 50%? How are you going to finish him off? Not happening. Oh, that's right. We have the Power Sword, which is our defeat all weapon that we stopped using as that for a while, because it stopped defeating everything. Alright. So you blew him up again. And Cardiatron reformed him. Not after time, that time instantly. So why didn't he reform instantly last time? Don't know. But anyway. And here comes, I can't move my arms to join the fight. So here we go, another sword blow. For a couple of them, this time it didn't blast him into a million pieces.
There's something wrong. Billy, check it out.
Again, you could still use your breath weapon.
Energy force working against the sword.
Okay. So, okay, we see it. So we know what's going on. You're on your own, right. And you can't beat it. You're already on the ground once. The sword did nothing. Permanent.
Got to disconnect that computer.
Now again, okay, I get the concept that the leader of the team is going to go take care of this, but if we're dealing with a computer, shouldn't Billy the Blue Ranger been the one to go deal with it? Now again, I realize this is Sentai footage, but I don't know if in Sentai Billy was the Blue Ranger, sorry, was the techie one.
Since I have nothing better to do, I'm going to break you into teensy weensy little pieces.
Okay, so Cardiatron's got him in his artery vein tentacles, and he's not there to lead Megazord, so here we go. Megazord can't handle him, don't have the sword anymore. And Dragonzord's just kind of stuck there. Again, he can still walk, he can still try to tail whip him. Nope, and down goes Dragonzord. And I will say the suit actor did a good job of keeping his arms in as he fell. You know, the natural reaction, especially as martial artists, is to throw your arms out to make as large a surface area as possible to lessen the impact. And again, that's human nature to try to put an arm down or something, so...
It's no use. Your silly little flute is no match.
Okay, so... Flute. But now I put the armor on. Now I get the dragon armor on, and all of a sudden, he's able to break the spell.
Those power breaths got lucky.
It wasn't luck. Obviously, he tried something else and it worked. It's not luck. It was going to work every time. Lucky is if it's something that shouldn't have worked, but did. You know, I love how they have Cardiatron blast out of him too.
You cannot defeat me.
Dragon armor still didn't protect him completely. Blast mark on the dragon armor, which looks like it just peels off and sticks on. That's great. Had a spot on his knee there too. But with the power of the flute and the sword, somehow that's disconnecting the computer. No, it just destroyed it. Okay.
So much for Cardiatron, not for that geek with the beak.
Yeah, unfortunately, goodbye Hatchasaurus. It was fun while it lasted. Okay, he doesn't have Cardiatron anymore. We've blasted him apart a couple of times, but Cardiatron's brought him back together. Now that we've defeated Cardiatron, let's bring on Titanus and the Ultrazord to really, really, really blast him. So instead of into 1,000,000 pieces, we're going to blast him into 1,000,000,000 pieces, because that's necessary. You already know how to beat him. You've already shown you can. It was the fact that Cardiatron brought them together. No, I'm sorry. Here we go again, escalating when there's no need. That's alright. Cardiatron's up for the challenge. Not going to go down passively. And again, Ultrazord just fires every weapon in existence, and boom, no more monster. And she was going for the headache move there, but not this time. Alright, back to the competition. So, without you there, he made it all the way through.
I just hope he's not too mad at me for leaving yesterday.
So that was yesterday, so you're wearing the same clothes now that you were in the command center before, right after the battle, the first battle, when you saw him reform, but that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
You'll do great, I know you will.
In your dreams.
And sorry if you can hear my cat in the background.
Vince, don't let him psych you, count.
You call this a psych? Show him, Vic.
Okay, so he's good with a heavy bag. I mean, if he couldn't do that with a heavy bag, he doesn't belong in any competition. But they got a good kid for it. He looks really mean. He looks really tough. Cameron looks a little more mild. Yeah, I'm not saying you need to look tough to be good at martial arts. I mean, Mr. Miyagi taught us all that. But so that's all that Bulk gets, a little elbow in the side.
Cameron, use the new leg move.
Okay. Sweeps the leg. Another Karate Kid reference. Well, another that I'm making. Because I made the Miyagi reference, they didn't. And now he's doing more like Miyagi, just I'm going to use your speed and aggressiveness against you and just throw you out of the way.
Winner, Cameron Hayes.
And even though he didn't beat him up bad, Cameron wins.
Yeah, me too.
And the kid took it pretty well. Biff was a real sportsman about it. You know what? Shake hands. Alright, so nothing dumped on Bulk this time. Just got hit a couple times, that's it. And of course, the message for this episode is believe in yourself, because he did all that without Zach there, coaching him, teaching him, cheering him on. Again, not that there's anything he could have really done at that point, but there we have it. Birds of a feather. So, in the rank of monsters, Cardiatron, strong enough, certainly. Well, Hatchasaurus, I'm sorry. Hatchasaurus, strong enough, certainly. With Cardiatron, able to rebuild, reform, makes him nearly indestructible. Had Megazord down, was actually doing okay against Dragonzord. Just couldn't handle him 2-on-1. And somehow getting the dragon armor on, was able to used the dragon flute to break Rita's spell, which made it the Dragon Zord able to get Cardiatron blasted out of Hatchasaurus. Again, I would have thought at that point Hatchasaurus would have been in pieces anyway if Cardiatron wasn't in him, and there would have been no additional battle after the fact. But again, after beating Cardiatron, now we're going to take Ultra Zord because, you know, why not? And just blast away Hatchasaurus. Alright, there we have it. Interesting episode. First, you know, having a two-part monster was interesting. Not two separate monsters, but two in a, you know, symbiotic relationship, we'll say. Yeah, we had Lokar and was helping out Mutitus. Yeah, I think it was Mutitus. So, but this one where Cardiatron's actually inside, kind of interesting. Again, no Tommy, also interesting. We'll see how long it takes to get him back. But for now, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of Baboo's Monster Review. Get ready for another one on Monday. And as always, remember, monsters need love too.